everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on these junk journals, these kitty lovers junk journals. So here I'm basically just putting the signatures together for the one that's gonna have the tea-dyed paper. This is that, I'm gonna say it's a little bit more of a muted, well, it's not just a little, it's a lot more muted color tone than the other one's gonna be. So I think I'm gonna like them equally the same, but for different reasons, obviously. This probably would be the kind that I would be more willing or want to journal in, but I don't know, I guess it just depends on my mood too, because I do really love this other journal, which should probably be clear because I spend most of this video working in this one, and probably will be for the next at least one video, if not 2 or 3 more videos, because there's a lot to decorate in here. So anyway, I'm doing my typical way that I like to create signatures. I like to make small piles, and then that helps me divvy out the different kinds of papers more evenly. And then I arrange the papers in size. So you maybe can't see very well there, but the different piles that I have are basically determined by the size that they are. Some of them were skinnier but tall. Some of them were shorter and fatter. And then some of them are a little bit wider. So that's kind of how I generally tend to do it. And then I'm just counting, I'm thinking, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I have 8 sheets of paper per signature for this one. And so I'm just basically trying to organize the papers in a way that looks good, and then also kind of stagger the different paper sizes at the same time. So just looking through again, making sure that I have what I want. And then I wanted to incorporate these napkins onto the papers as well. And I'm sure you're noticing there's an awful lot of white paper happening. And for whatever reason, that's a big no-no in the junk journal world. I think I agree with that for the most part, but when you're doing a journal like this one where you kind of expect to have white paper, I mean, I think this one would look not very good with tea-dyed or coffee stain paper because of the, the nature of it. So anyway, so here I'm just taking my napkin and using the napkin to basically color the back of that paper, honestly. So have a water brush there, and that helps me easily rip the paper or rip the napkin, and it works really well. So you're gonna see me now. I'm just gonna go back through the signatures and determine how I want to add, or what I want to add to each page to kind of make them more interesting at this point. And then obviously I'm going to go back and do some more decorating. So yeah, lots and lots of white paper, which is uncomfortable for us. So yeah, just kind of flipping through all my things, trying to kind of almost decorating here in a way. What I was doing here, I was thinking it would be kind of fun to do a notepad of those fishes. And actually, I really like that idea. I'll probably still go back and do that. But at that point in time, I think I decided that it would have been too thick for the page that I would have put it onto. So I abandoned that idea. And then here, you're seeing me struggle with this napkin. It ripped, unfortunately. That upper left one ripped. So I don't know if I'll be able to use it because it ripped right down the poor kitty cat's face. So I don't know if we'll use that one, but I got plenty more. So anyway, so yeah, just gonna kind of sort of pre-decorate here with the napkins and stuff, and just using glue stick to stick them down. There's other methods you could use. Gel matte medium would be one, Mod Podge would be another, but I tend to prefer the glue stick with them because it works really well, and it's a lot less messy, I'll give you that. So, alright, so this one, I'm going to combine 2 of the napkins, and yeah, my ceiling fan is on, so I was making it a little bit of a challenge to work with these little flimsy napkins, but I think I made it work okay. So basically decorated that page. And this was the number 3. That was the cardstock backing to it was some packaging from some of the ephemera that I'm going to be using in this journal. So don't want to throw that away. You can make journaling cards and stuff out of that. And actually I need to remember that I should do that next time. I kind of just jumped in on this video and started decorating right away, and I think maybe next time I need to make a few more journaling cards, but we'll see. So doing the same thing again here, just covering the back whole side of that paper with this fun polka dot. I love it so much. It's so much fun. And lined it up better this time so I had more extra, a bigger chunk of extra left over, so I can definitely use that somewhere else too. And so far, I'm really liking what I've got here. I was messing around. I did not like those circles on top of the polka dots. And then the colors were kind of being a challenge, so I did rearrange that signature just a little bit. And I find that it's easiest to do the gluing of these kind of in sections. This particular glue stick that I'm using is awfully messy and sticky. And so I think it seems to be easiest to do it in that way. So I don't know. If you guys are going to try something like this, then maybe try it that way and see how it works for you. I know it works easy. It works better for me, so. I think I put that napkin down, and I think intending to go back and do some more with that later. And so then this is that background paper that was in the digital kit with all the ephemera that I'll be using, and I had originally intended to use this as like journaling card backgrounds, but then it occurred to me that I've got an awful lot of white space happening in this journal, so I decided to go ahead and fussy rip it, and so it was kind of messy ripped, and I'll be covering some of these pages with this for the background. So actually I really like how it turned out, and I may have to cover some more of it later with some like actual writing paper or something like that one. I mean, the cats are really cute, but that one probably I'd need to put a tuck spot down there and some journaling cards in the tuck spot or something, because then otherwise it's really kind of, you can't do much with that page unless I suppose you could glue your photos down or something onto it. So just trying to use my materials in creative ways, and just make it more interesting. This one, I'm a little afraid that it's gonna look busy, but so far so good. So I really like that page there. It's really pretty floral pattern. I keep trying to use this napkin, but I'm finding it kind of difficult. And I tore out that one little cat, and then I didn't even use him. So, anyway, so yeah, I'm speeding through this one a little faster, or this part of it a little faster, and because this would be a really long video otherwise. You may notice on some of my papers there's some gobbledygook printed onto the back sides of some of them. So they were, I don't know what happened with my new printer. I was trying to print something and it literally printed every page with a line of that gobbledygook onto it and stuffs. And like I had almost a half a ream of paper in there at the time, and it printed through all of it. So I wasn't about to just throw away all that paper. And so I went ahead and just printed over it, and I decided, well, I'll be able to cover all that up with stuff. So a lot of the tuck spots and things that you'll see along the sides of pages is because it's because of that. And to be honest with you, you probably wouldn't have ever known that if I hadn't said anything about it. But there you go, a little secret for you. Okay, so this was today, actually. This was the next day. Let's see, 2 days later. I've had a very busy week again, unfortunately, guys, and I apologize for missing my Friday video. I felt really bad about it, but I just had to stay focused on work, unfortunately, and was not able to spend any extra fun time doing anything else. Anyway, so I remembered that I had this gift bag, and at first I wasn't sure I wanted to use these kitty cats. Especially, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use the glittery ones, like this one here. It's all glitter. And so I decided, well, just go ahead and cut them out, and I'll just decide later then, I guess, if I wanted to use them or not. And so that's what I'm doing now, just cutting them out, and they're just really cute. So anyway. So, okay, so now we're ready to finally start decorating this first signature. And the very first thing I wanted to do was to show one of these kitty cats on the first page. And then I saw this, it's actually hot pink. I don't know how well it's showing up on the camera. And it's got meow, meow, meow in cursive script lettering. And so on the very first page, I'm going to use one of those cats from the gift bag that I had no idea if I would use them at all or not. So I kind of laughed at myself about that, but I just thought that those looked really good together. And so you'll see me flipping through a lot of this ephemera, kind of a lot, just because there's so much of it. Like, honestly, there's a lot in there. So I may have extra left over for giving away with the journal at the end. But so I decided to go ahead and not glue him completely down so that card could kind of tuck up into his head. But I am using a paper clip to hold it in place. And so there we go for page 1. I don't know why I kept looking for other things, but there's page 1. And then this page here on the right side was one of those where I added that background paper to the white paper to kind of make it more interesting. And so the little flag up at the top says the story. Oh, and my inking that I'm using for this journal it's called Rain Cloud by Ranger. I think it's an older ink pad, but it's gray. I didn't want to do, the coffee dyed colors for this. I thought maybe black or gray would be better. And so I thought, well, gray is probably a little less drastic. So I'm going to go ahead and use gray for my distressing, I guess. And actually, I'm not going to distress everything. It's going to be kind of picky-choosy on what I'm distressing in this journal because there is so much white. I think it makes sense to keep things kind of white. So like that paw on the bottom left corner, I didn't distress that at all, but I distressed the flag and then these two wooden buttons that were directly underneath it. So love these solid color, the fish and the cat head journaling cards. They are so cute and they're so perfect for this journal. Like the colors, they're simple, but they're just so cute. I just really like them a lot. Okay, so I decided I needed to do something more on that right hand side. So I went ahead and found this little quote and inked around that. It says, "Cats make me happy." But the paper is a little flimsy for it to be a tuck spot, so I went ahead and put it on top of this orange stripy paper and just cut just barely enough around so that you can see that it's stripy, but it's not overwhelming. And then inking around that again, and then I'll turn that into a little tuck spot so then I can add a fishy tail or a fish. Or maybe a cat. I don't remember what I ended up with, but I put one of them in there. I think this cat. And so his whiskers stick out a little bit, so I was trying to decide if I should put him catty corner or not, but catty corner. But I think in the end I decided it'll be fine to have whiskers sticking out here and there. So then this next little flap is a tuck spot, and these just kind of came out of nowhere, and they were kind of perfect. The little orange roses on top of the polka dot. The flag at the top says cat lover. I know it's kind of hard to read it through the video and stuff, but yep, just inking around these, and then gonna glue that down to the top up there. My glue is just, oof, it's giving me a hard time today. It was too much glue. I think I filled it a little too full and it was just coming out like crazy. So the kitty cat with the glasses, actually I really liked him there, but his little tail was just, or her little tail was just poking off to the side too much, and I just knew it was going to become a problem. So I went ahead and went looking for a different little kitty cat to put there. I think in the end, yeah, I decided to go with this pink one instead, and she's really pretty too. And so she's obviously looking over to the right with kind of a look of disdain on her face, you know, the way cats do. So I thought, well, we better have another cat on the other page. So thought about putting this one over there, but it wasn't quite working for me. So just kind of looking for some other things. That ball of yarn would have been really fun, but in the end, I found this cute little guy and decided he would go perfectly down there. And so she's kind of looking at him like, "What are you doing, little dude? Get out of my space." And so by his tail, my glue got away from me, and it's kind of hard to see in the video here, but it did smudge a little bit. So I had to come up with something to kind of cover that up. And so I thought I'd do a little quote here, but I didn't like how that one was covering up his tail so much. So gonna go look back and find something that's just a little bit smaller. And I think that one says "Feed me, human," which would have been perfect, but it wasn't quite in the right spot. And so then I found this one that says "Cat power." So Okay, so yeah, I've got all kinds of different shapes and sizes of ephemera to use. Um, I didn't really think I was gonna decorate every page in this journal, but it's looking like I might be, because otherwise there's just not a whole lot going on. So, which is fine. I'm having so much fun decorating this journal. It's kind of like a brush of fresh. Oh my gosh, a breath of fresh air, and bright and cheerful and kind of fun and happy. So. Okay, so went ahead and made another tuck spot there in that corner, and then I remembered that I had these kitty cat stamps, and I thought that they would be really perfect to put into some couple of them into these little boxes. So went ahead and did that. The bottom one says "Every day is Catterday." And so now I'm going to go ahead and do a little decorating on the little flap there. The paper that the flap is from that Scandinavian book of paper. I can't remember the name of it. Lana Johnstadter, I think, is the Lana Johnstadter, or I'm probably really butchering that name, but I believe that's the name that was the person that came up with that book. Decided to go ahead and use this little cute quote. I think it said, let's see, I forget now. You work, I watch and judge. And so then now I'm going to go ahead and use that little kitty from the Kleenex, from the napkin, and he's got a little blue bow tie on. He's really funny. So just tucking some journaling cards into there, and of course we got to get a little fishy in there. So calling that spread done. Now moving on to the next one. Yeah, this guy, he makes an appearance a lot in this video. I try to use him all over, and he just doesn't always seem to want to work on all the pages, but and some of them were a little bit smaller than others. And then in the end, I thought she was better for this page. So went ahead and turned her into a tuck spot. Pocket, actually, I guess. And we're all just going to pretend like they don't have little holes in their ears. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to deal with those. And there's really not a way to do that because they're just not in the right spot. They're not in a great spot. So I don't know. I think it would be almost more weird to string something across there or add something to them to try and cover them. I don't know. I'm not coming up with a good solution. So if you guys have an idea, let me know. Because I'm open for ideas on that. But after a while, I just don't even notice them anymore. So I kind of figure maybe that's how they'll be. And then this page was that thin paper again. So I backed it with some white dot grid paper. And so I'm going to ink around the edges on this. And that glue is awfully wet. I'm really hoping it doesn't dry that way, that you can see the glue. And if it does, I'll switch it out with a different journaling card, but it's a really cute card. So I'm hoping it'll dry fine. But here I went off to get some Sorry Silk scraps. And then this one was the perfect size and kind of the perfect color. Orchid pink color. It's kind of perfect. So there we have our little journaling card there. Okay, so now for probably my favorite few pages of this first signature, maybe, because I just love That black and white polka dot is so cute. I just love it so much. And then that little pop of purple poking out there. Oh my gosh, I just love it so much. So this was a little photo frame kind of deal. And I thought you could easily size down a photo to put into that little frame there, and that would be really cute. And so I made it into a belly band and decided to go ahead and stick one of the fishes into the belly band. And then this little quote says "Perfect day." And so I'll just stick that up in the upper left corner there. Kind of simple, but really cute still. And then I decided just a cute little stamp down on the bottom left, bottom right corner there. And unfortunately, the way I stamped it, the shadow of the stamp kind of showed above the cat. I don't know how well you can see that. So I decided to cover that with that little saying that says "the cat owns me" or something like that. So, and then that white paper on the left side is the leftover dot grid paper from the backing of the other card. So decided to just glue that down there so that that would be some usable writing space. And just looking for something kind of cute and small to stick onto it. So we found that guy. And now I'm finding a little quote that says, "Play with me, human." And he's scratching everything. So. I really like that little page, actually. It's very cute. And then this is that 7 paper set of ephemera. And I looked through everything. I think I tried almost every single piece of ephemera, but nothing was really quite sticking out to me. That page on the right was awfully busy, so I wanted to find something that was very not busy. And in the end, I went with this one that says "meh," and just turned that into a little tuck spot there, and then threw a few of those Project Life cards into it. I think... yeah, the one with the paw print and then the little fishes. And then here's my Oliver looking for some attention. Okay, so trying to work around him. Sorry for him getting in the shadows there, but had this big fish, bony fish thing that I thought looked really good on this page, and so just decided to turn that into a tuck spot there. And into that I'm going to put some, yeah, had to get rid of the kitty cat, put some little journaling cards into that, or just one, I think, actually, if I remember right. And then, oh, I was gonna see if I could fit, yeah, another one of those cats there, and thought this guy that was kind of blue looked better. So just going to rearrange that other page a little bit so that he can fit on there and glue him down. His cheeks are glitter. It's really cute. Alright, so this page actually kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop. I was trying to decide if that's how I really wanted it to fold. I folded it kind of in a weird way, but in the end I decided that, yeah, this will be good. And so almost glued the yellow one down, and then I remembered, oh, you're gonna see some of this with the purple, and I didn't know if I liked that idea with him showing behind purple, because I don't think purple and yellow go very well together, especially not those two colors, purple and yellow. So I had this Live Love Meow, and I'm thinking it needs to be backed somehow. And so I'm just looking through all my papers that I had left over, and I really didn't have anything. So actually I'm going to print off some more of those pages, and that's what I'm doing now. So I decided to go ahead and use this, I guess, seafoam green, minty green color. It's like, hard to describe. It's meant to be like crinkled almost, but paper that's been folded in like a paper fan, like when you're folding up to make a paper fan, but then unfolded and then maybe photographed or scanned somehow that way. So anyway, I really like how it turned out. I think it's really cute. And then I just decided, you know, you could use the space around it for writing space or putting papers down or pictures down or whatever you might have that you want to put there. And so here I was just looking for what next to decorate with, to be honest. Pulled a few different things out, and actually I do really like those wooden buttons on that right hand side. I don't know why I didn't use them, but I put them away and did something different instead. I thought maybe those buttons, but they just didn't work really that great. And then just put this cat mom down and made it into kind of a belly band idea, tuck spot. So I didn't put something in there yet, but I will probably go back and add something, just some extra writing paper or something to put into there. I think at the end of the day, I looked through every one of these and nothing really kind of stuck out to me. Oh, I'm trying to remember what I did, honestly. Maybe I gave up and went on. I think that's what I did. So here I was looking, I have some of these tab toppers or tabs. Just thought maybe I'd put that onto the journaling card, but then didn't do that either. And so here, yeah, I was trying to decide what to do. This one was kind of throwing me a little bit for a loop again. Not quite sure what I wanted to do, but I do really I like this little guy looking at the fish tank, and thought that was a good spot for him to go. And what I should have done is probably put one of those labels onto that page or something. I don't know. I didn't have quite the right size of ephemera that would have journaling space on it to put there. So, and then I had the idea of putting one of the bright pink colored purple behind one of the other journaling cards, and I really like how that looked actually, and on top of that black and white polka dot was really cute. So again, I think I'm kind of losing steam at this point. It's been a long day today, and I think I was just kind of getting tired at this point. Not, you know, I don't know how you guys are when you're being creative, but for me, a lot of times I can go really, really well for a while, and then all of a sudden I'm kind of like, everything's just a little bit harder to do. And so I was kind of at that point now, but it's really hard for me to stop in the middle of a signature because I have to have that feeling of completing something. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. But anyway, so okay, so I went back to my papers that I just printed off, and I wanted to cover that right side because you can see how the other side of the paper is kind of showing through, and it was just kind of distracting, honestly. And so I decided to go ahead and use this gray and white stripe. I thought that was really gonna be cute, and actually I really like how it turned out. It's kind of unexpected in a way, and the way that I glued it was that it wasn't completely glued down on all the edges, which I think is really fun too. And so went back to that 7 paper ephemera, and in the end I found a little square, this card here with little kitty cats on it, and I just really like the color combinations. And so I thought that would be a really good spot for if you had a picture that you wanted to kind of showcase or something. Added that meow from that other, it was from the branding strips from that other paper pad. I just happened to have it sitting on the desk, and so put that down, and then was trying out some labels, but I didn't like the way that they were looking. And then I remembered I had these puffy stickers, and I thought, well, let's see if any of these would look any good. And I thought that the orange tabby cat one was kind of cute, and so decided to put him down there in the bottom left. So there's still room for a photo, or if you wanted to add journaling space on there, you could. But I think that's a really cute little card for you to do stuff onto. So we have another one of these, well, the other half of the first one that we had. So I decided to go ahead and do a little bit more stamping. The first one was great. The second one didn't stamp quite right, and yeah, just didn't. It was the first time I've ever used that stamp, and actually I think below it was a little bit bumpy, so it just didn't do it very well. I'm going to go back and cover that up with something else. At the time I didn't do that, but looking at it now I see that it needs to be covered up because it just doesn't look very good. So I'll cover that with something. But now I'm focusing on the right hand side, and I just really liked how that would sit on there, and then you could, you know, kind of journal around the kitty cat, and it's just really cute. So then I think we're at just about the end here. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple here. I'm gonna paper clip this guy on and add a little something on the back, and that'll be it for me, guys. Hope you had a fun one today, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.